Hello and welcome. My name is Aspia, and today we are going to be playing Donut County. Donut County is a game that plays from the main perspective of two characters, Mira, who appears to be a human, and BK, who is a raccoon. Both work at a local donut shop that delivers donuts to customers. Except they don't really deliver donuts. They deliver donut holes. Like hole. The main mechanic of this game is you drive a little hole around. When something falls into your hole, it gets a little bigger. And the goal is to basically go around eating small things to be able to eat the bigger things. Now, the donut shop is mostly run by BK, but it's not a solo operation. It's part of a larger chain, owned by another raccoon named TK, whose full name is Trash King, which leads me to believe that BK's full name is Burger King. So I will be referring to him as Burger King for the rest of the run. I'm mostly showing this run because there are some games that you can really speedrun pretty well, do decently on the leaderboards, without really needing any major glitches, no skips, nothing frame perfect. I'm doing this as I'm doing this as a mobile speedrun on my iPad. I'm using an Apple Pencil. You'll also notice that there is no game audio, and this was not filmed at the same time as I actually did the game, because it would just be a whole lot of tapping and breathing. Now, for most of this video, I will not be showing this part where they go back into the hole and explain where they're going next, but I included it here so you would know it's there. Now for this level, it introduces the first puzzle of the run, but like most levels, it starts off by just eating small things to get a little bigger. I will also note that I can't upload to this to the leaderboards because unfortunately I closed out the game at one point, and for it to count you need the game to be on the screen at all times. This part is fairly simple. The only thing you need to make sure you do is get that brick under the gate, because that'll open it and allow you to go into the next area. Now it pans over to this area. You continue eating other things to get bigger. And unfortunately for this poor fellow, he is also going in the hole. Please keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times for your safety. One thing to note, the pots can fall and break. I don't know if it actually makes your hole bigger if you break it or not, but just something to note. They are more of a pain to pick up if you let them fall and break. Now we get over to the actual puzzle of this level. Basically, you see that kiln? You need to eat it, which I did a terrible job of doing. It will make your hole catch on fire, and then you put it underneath the hot air balloon, causing it to expand and rise and break free. Fly away, little pup. Basically, then you just finish eating everything around the area. The level will finish when you eat the last thing, which is usually the house. Now Burger King is doing this for a reason. Burger King is a raccoon with dreams. He wants a quadcopter. And how does he achieve this? Well, he delivers a bunch of donuts to get up to level 10. So that's why he's doing this. We are playing as BK right now. This level's puzzle will start in a moment. Just eat everything on this side to get bigger. The snakes will kind of pop up when you get underneath them. Just try and get them to fall straight into the hole if you can. Now this puzzle, you finish eating all the small stuff around, then you eat the snake in the cage. Once you do that, its tail will start sticking out of your hole, and you can use it to interact with other things. First, you press that button on the left, then you're going to go underneath the swing with the chicken on it, and push it up. It'll fall off onto the ground. And then next you go around that sign that the other chicken is standing on, clockwise. It only works one direction, until it unscrews. This will cause the machine to break, allowing you to finish the level. I highly recommend eating the snakes first, because they're the smallest, and so they're easier to eat, and it'll make other things easier to eat faster. Now another thing to note, I'm not showing that dialogue in between. However, it would be moving pretty fast if I did. Basically, every time you tap, twice I believe, it moves the dialogue along. I have one finger that I could use alone, or I have 10 fingers I could use to work together. Basically, like you're fake typing on a keyboard, just drum all of your fingers in order on the iPad to get it to work. This one, similarly, start out eating the smaller stuff around. Make sure you eat the dog. Poor puppy. I'm sorry. For this level, it introduces the bird and the water. When you go underneath the water, your hole will fill up with water. When this happens, it will not take any more items. So you need to bring it full of water over to the bird, which will drink it and empty your hole so it can fit more things in it. For this level, you have to empty all of the items out of the level and all of the water. If you don't get all the water, it won't, how do I say this? It won't let you end the level because you can't eat the bird until you've eaten everything else in this level. And when you empty the water with the bird, a fish flops out. Eat the trailer, then the other fish remaining, and then you can finally eat the bird. Sometimes it's a little glitchy though. This level introduces popcorn. So you'll see that corn cart on the right. Eat all of the small stuff around to get bigger, then eat the milk crates underneath the cart, and then eat the corn as it falls off. Next, you'll need to eat the fire. Now, keep your hole in one place. A bunch of popcorn will spill out. Keeping it in one place, just make sure the popcorn doesn't go somewhere you can't eat it at the moment, and it keeps it in one area so it's a little faster to eat. Make sure you eat the crows as well. Once you finish that, eat the cart and the tent. It'll allow you to pan out, and just continue eating everything in the area. This level introduces bunnies. We all love them. First, we go around eating some carrots and some paving stones until it pans out. Then continue eating paving stones until it is big enough to hold that large carrot you see behind the fence. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Once you grab that, you're going to need to lure that blue bunny, over to the gate in the fence. Once he pushes that open, you need to lure him over top of that ramp. Once you do that, you can immediately feed the carrot to the 2 bunnies, which will open up your hole. Make sure you eat the bunnies. Once they get in there, they do what bunnies do and rapidly procreate. But don't worry, it stays in the hole for now. Then just go around eating everything you can until you can get big enough to eat the rock on the top left with the 2 bunnies on top. Then yet again eat the bunnies, and they will do as bunnies do. Oh, aren't they such good friends? Such a good friendship. Then eat the other rock, eat the bunnies, and they will procreate again. But the hole has gotten a little too full. Whee! No need to worry about eating the bunnies. It doesn't really matter. Just eat the bigger chunks as he can fit them. That hole's better have really good eyesight, because it has eaten a lot of carrots. Now this introduces, I don't really know what that is, I guess the fire starter? So go around eating the small stuff as usual. Then eventually you're going to eat the fire. Then you eat that little fire starter and catch every tree on fire. This will cause them to drop its fruit. If you run out of fire, just go back over to the grill. And then you can eat the fruit on the ground as well as just anything else you can fit. Then eat the trailer and the bench. And this one's a little finicky. You need to make sure you've gotten every small thing on the ground. Some of them are hidden behind other items, so just make sure you go around a few times in case you miss anything towards the edge. Then as usual, go around eating everything on the terrain surrounding you. Definitely not suspicious at all to the neighbors. I'm honestly surprised they haven't noticed this yet. This is quite impressive. So many large structures disappearing at such a rapid rate. This one introduces the firework. When you go next to that building, it will lower that fire, lighting the firework. So you go next to the building once you can fit the firework in your hole, light the firework, eat the firework, then go underneath the birds. It will go off and spook the birds. You need to eat said birds. Then it will pan to see the cliff above. This cliff has a person on it. You need to light and set off fireworks that hit that cliff 3 times to knock them down. I don't know why they didn't fly away at the first firework. They have wings, but go for it. This seems like my ideal picnic. A nice cliff, some corn, and getting hit from fireworks underneath. Perfect. Once you're back down, just eat everything on the ground. Just note that the picnic basket has popcorn in it, so it made sense to keep your hole underneath something so the popcorn just falls straight back in. Obviously, I need to take my own advice. The last thing you really need to do is eat the firework building. That will start at the end of the level, but it does take a few seconds. An exhibit A of this person's amazing ability to sleep through anything. and people are finally noticing. After beginning rather suspicious text from Mira, we enter the level. This level has one main mechanic, and it's the lizards. They kind of camouflage into the background. You can see a faint background around them and their eyes. Basically go around, try and find the smaller ones, so you can get to the bigger ones, the usual deal. When you start out, you are not able to eat the biggest ones, so focus on the two smaller ones, the yellow and the light green, and then once we are a little bigger, we can get to the bigger ones. Sometimes they'll just kind of stand over your hole and circle around for a second before going in. Just have a little patience, they'll get in there. Although patience isn't fun on a speedrun. After that, it doesn't really have anything special. You'd think this dude would wake up after a lot of ruckus were causing around him. But then again, he was able to sleep through a massive firework, so maybe not. I need this dude's ability to sleep. Can I have it? Just finish eating everything in sight. It'll pan out a little to show you a little more. Eat the building and you're done. This level will introduce the catapult. So first you just go around, as usual, eating everything in sight. You'll need to eat everything on the screen, including the raccoon, to move on to the next part. Now at this point, Mira has convinced Burger King that he needs to do something. So Burger King buys the catapult, which Mira has been told that will fix everything. Basically, it launches things out of the hole, but it only launches like one thing at a time and only select things, so it's not the real fix yet. So now you have access to the catapult. You need to launch the chicken in its cage out of your hole, and don't catch it, break the cage, and then eat everything, including the chicken. We're going to go over to the side of this building. We're going to launch the chicken towards the middle of the side of the building, then go over and go underneath that lever on the side of the building. This will open out a door, catching the chicken. Once it lands, you can go out from underneath it, speeding up the process. Then you'll go over here, start catching eggs, start by catching one egg, then launching it under the switch to cause it to go a lot faster. Just catch as many eggs as you can. You're waiting to get big enough to eat that cylindrical building in the background. Don't know what that's called. Now just go eat that cylindrical item, which again I did a fantastic job of. Then just eat everything in sight. You know, the usual. Now sometimes you'll maintain control of your hole while it pans to another area of the screen. You won't be able to eat anything while this is happening, so it's a good time to readjust if you need to. This level will introduce the frog. The frog, when you launch it out of your hole, will grab something nearby. This includes bugs, levers, beekeepers, honey hives, you know, the usual. So go around eating things until you're big enough to eat that honeycomb on the milk crate next to the bee hives. Then you're going to bring it over to the frog and then launch it. The frog will grab it and then fall into your hole. Eat a few things around, and then you're going to park underneath the hive and then launch the frog twice. Once for the hive, once for the bee. Make sure you park underneath the shadow, not where the light is, because it might not work depending what part the bee is in its cycle. That was English. What the part the bee is in of its cycle when you hit the frog. There we go, English. Eat everything else, including that tree stump you see, and then it'll pan to the next area. Now we're going to eat a few things to get a little bigger. You're going to need to eat all 4 bees. One thing to note is that your frog gets bigger as it eats more, just like we do. So you need to make sure you eat things around so that the frog will fit back in your hole. Once you've done that, then you can eat the beekeeper. Then you eat the house, and that finishes the level. No need to eat the tree. Next, we come across an unfortunate cat with their business. They have some issues. In the cutscene before this, most of them just spend the time trashing the restaurant because it has a D health rating. Anyways, we're going to eat everything around here to get a little bigger, to be able to eat the roaches and the cat under the roaches under the crate and the cat. Now for this level, we're going to eat the things on the floor. Then we're going to go underneath the lever in the top right corner. Then we're going to park underneath the pot, and then this will open. You need to get both pepper and salt into the soup, but if you let the roaches in, it will spoil, and you'll need to start over. You also can't let it get eaten by the bird too early until you've got both salt and pepper, then you can let it eat it, and that's the puzzle. Then you just go outside and eat. Although this doesn't look very appetizing to eat, I'll be honest. My favorite meal, cockroaches. In this one, you also eat all of the surrounding buildings, which look like office buildings. Imagine just going to work at your 9 to 5, you're at the insurance company and you're like, okay, not the worst day. And then your building just gets swallowed by this massive hole. Like, yeah, I probably should have called in sick work today. This doesn't sound very fun. But hey, Burger King is so generous. It gave workers' comp to every single one of those workers. How kind! And look at that! Burger King has achieved his dream of the quadcopter. Now we get a cute little cutscene where BK is showing off his quadcopter's benefits, what it can do, and then Mira, who's for some reason not happy at Burger King for destroying the entire town and nearly killing all of her friends for some reason. So I think she's just jealous. But she does break the quadcopter. Then she gets some delicious karma in the only way she knows how, by delivering a donut hole. only thing I'm kind of confused about is why she ate herself with the hole instead of, just eating BK and leaving. I guess that's a real friend that'll stick with you through the hole. Nice. At least she went down with style. This level is very interesting. Some mild jump scares throughout, so just a warning. Like I said, very mild. So first we go around eating the candles, eating a few small things around as well. This level is also kind of tricky because it's really hard to tell where your hole is, so it may take you a little longer or a little more effort. Now we go over to the fridge on the left and grab the flashlight. Then we go eating things around on the floor. Every so often, the hole will run out of light. Then you'll need to go back over to the fridge to get a flashlight battery. Now there are a few different masks that you need to get in order to finish this level. The right mask will have the cat hiding behind it, which will cause what you just saw. Every time this happens, go grab a battery, then go just eat more stuff around the level. Sometimes the mask you need will be behind other things, so just go around eating things until you find a mask you think could be it. Now you'll notice that the lever in the top left has dropped, so you can go over, put your hole underneath it, and it'll turn on the light, partly. Go eat the battery by the safe. Then you need to go around, there you go, scare the cat from on top of the safe, eat the cat, then you can eat everything else in the level. And now we invite our friend Possum into the hole. Here your hole will spawn underneath the house, so just so you know, it probably has started. It just doesn't look like it. Now Possum is a conspiracy theorist who claimed at the same time that the Earth is flat and hollow. Hollow is correct. I don't know about flat. But now we've moved on to Burger King's Disneyland, basically. This introduces water balloons, where if you bring them into your hole, launch them, and let them hit the ground, they will put water on the ground, which will fill up your hole. Now that you have the catapult, once you have water in that hole, you can launch that water up into the air with some considerable force. So you're going to, once you can, grab that water balloon, launch it, don't catch it. No, don't launch the water balloon at the water wheel. Launch it, don't catch it, grab the water, and then use that to push the water wheel. You'll need to do that a few different times, so just grab the fish. First launch that section of the slide up, then launch it underneath the gumball machine to get you some more water balloons. Once he finishes the ride of a lifetime, eat him, and then eat the gumball machine. This might take a little bit of work, and again, if you need to empty the water out of your hole, just launch it. Once you eat the gumball machine, it'll pan out. The next part, you need to launch water underneath the Ferris wheel to get it to go really fast. Those raccoons are going to have a wild ride. Do that 3 times, and then you'll get a cutscene, and then you'll just be able to eat everything and finish the level. Sometimes you'll have issues getting those chunks to get into the middle where you can actually reach them. You may need to move the two main rides to be able to get them close enough, because you do need to eat that main one last, otherwise it won't fit. Next, we see the traffic jam caused by the hot air balloon we launched earlier. So first we need to collect some garbage around. You then go underneath that rat's truck and follow it to get it to go backwards and forwards really quickly. Get the cup off of its truck, then eat the car. Next, we're going to go around eating everything. Just get big enough to eat the tires underneath those TVs. Those are all individual items, so they'll grow your hole pretty quickly. Eat all the TVs, then you'll be able to eat the platform underneath the raccoon, which will cause some donuts to fall out of the truck. Eat those. Eat the table. Then it'll pan over to here. You need to launch a donut at the raccoon that's carrying the camera. Then you need to launch the camera at each of the raccoons once, which will cause them to crash. You'll then need to eat all of those raccoons. You will gain them as items being able to launch. Position your hole where the shadow of the hot air balloon is, unlike what I did here. Then you're going to launch all 3 raccoons up onto the hot air balloon, which will cause it to be a little way down. This causes this guy to come out, who's on a cycle. You need to throw it at him when he's down. When he's higher up, it won't reach. And you also need to put it underneath the shadow, unlike what I did. Once you get him once, you need to do it one more time, just to cause him to fall. And then, like the others, launch him onto the hot air balloon. You know, drivers aren't always the smartest, but you'd think they'd stop before the massive gaping hole that's consuming everyone in front of them, you know, swallows them whole. But then again, drivers. Now that pup is all the way down in the hole, there's a little argument about who goes with, and then they use the hot air balloon to exit the hole to go confront Trash King, Burger King's superior. And here we have a small, heartwarming cutscene where Mira says that she'll forgive Burger King if he washes her car. They identify their target, make a plan, and then do what they know best. Text them. One thing to note is that little duck button. Try not to press it if you're trying to speed through. The other person will only send a duck back. And like a true millennial, or Gen Z, they decide to indecisively say never mind and figure it out themselves. Just go around eating all the repairman's tools. Poor guy, he's just trying to do his job. Now it kind of pans out. I think you just need to go in front of the door real quick to be able to get this cutscene to pop up. Possum will give you something to hack the cameras with, catch the hack device, and then launch it underneath the camera. This gives us access to the inside of the building. Now you don't need to eat anything in here. I eat the coffee cup. Go into the main hall, eat everything in here. Then go into the security room. You need to eat the stuff in the top left corner, then eat the raccoon, and launch it onto the shelf that was above the things you just ate. Make sure you grab at least that red key card, go back out into the hallway to the labs, underneath the red key card reader, and launch it up. Now you'll enter this lab. Eat everything around until you can eat that snake. This will allow you to interact with the buttons you see on the top of the screen. The arrow buttons move a magnet, which will pull things out of the holes. First you go down and to the right, and then hit the grab button on the left. Then go up twice, and then to the right. And once again, hit grab. This will open up one last piece, which has a frog in it. Go over to the left twice and down once. Grab the frog, hit the grab button, and eat the frog. It may make sense to eat the cage pieces because the frog will grow. Now you see 4 flies on your screen. If you don't see the 4th one, look next to the trash can. Eat all 4 of those, then launch the frog underneath the rabbit's cage, right next to that blue piece. The frog will grab the blue piece and release the bunnies. Eat the bunnies, and you know what happens next. After this heartwarming cutscene, where the Trash King asks them to fill out their waivers faster, we destroy the lab. Now we move on to the other lab. We see some bunnies in the hallway. You do want to eat at least a few of these. You don't need to eat all of them like I did, but make sure you can eat a larger bunny. Not the larger ones in here, there's a larger one in the main hall, which is holding the blue key card we need. Enter the main hall, eat the bunny, and bring the blue key card back into the hallway we were just in. Insert it into the card reader, and enter the lab. Start by eating the donuts, then the vials, then the hard hat, then the stool. Then you can eat all of the raccoons. Get the raccoon behind the desk. Then you'll be able to eat the trash, which was a literal dumpster fire. Then you need to eat the firework, place it underneath the fire alarm system, and set it off. No need to do anything to set it off. Now you need to grab some water to fill up your hole, and then go to the exposed wires underneath the trash can. The bird will then eat the water. Then this cycle, you don't really need to do anything else. Just don't eat the firework that comes out. This time, make sure the bird eats your water again. Go behind the firework. Don't get watered again like I did. And then this will light the firework. Bring it to where the fire alarm system used to be, and launch it one more time. And now, we received a personalized invitation to the Trash King's office. I'm honored. we now get a dramatic cutscene going through all of the spoils of our work, everything we've collected. Well, not everything, because that's a lot, but a few highlights. Toilet's definitely my favorite. Just going along eating donuts. You know, no trap here. Definitely no traps here. Wow, a trap. I'm shocked. How could they do this? I've been bamboozled. And now with a dramatic cutscene, we get to see the Trash King, who I'm honored to say is sitting on a pile of my people. And of course, Trash King offers Burger King actual benefits, and like healthcare and full-time pay. Wow. Weird, it shouldn't have taken almost destroying his entire lab to do that. Maybe he should have done that before. He was a good employee. At this point, I accidentally closed the game. This is why I wasn't able to upload it to the leaderboards, because I made a mistake. Oopsies. Oh well. And now we get the boss fight. This has a few different phases. The first one being it drops bombs all over the place. You need to eat the smaller one and then launch it up. Oh, sorry, we get this one. You need to avoid that target that it's aiming at. It will fill your hole with concrete, and you'll need to blow it up to get rid of it, and you'll lose a phase. Now we're waiting for a small bomb to drop, that one. Then you need to wait until you can launch it into the belly of that thing. It does move around a lot during this phase, so make sure it's actually standing still before you launch it, because you don't want it to go off and miss a phase. Now they'll drop some bricks, and we'll go back into the concrete phase. Just try and go around as fast as you can. Avoid the concrete. And this phase will get harder as it goes along, so you really don't want to miss one if you can avoid it. Once again, grab the small bomb, and then launch it into the belly of it. If you miss or do not launch a bomb into the quadcopter, it will blow a strong wind at Mira, and she'll lose health. Once again, just go around. I recommend using your finger if you're using a Apple Pencil normally, as it'll give you more precision, and you can confirm that it stays down and doesn't just kind of come off of the page accidentally. Like I said, he moves around a lot, so make sure he's actually standing still. One quadcopter down, and one to go. Except the second one's really easy. Don't worry. See, BK comes out with the hack device we used earlier. And so we can grab BK. Thank you for actually being useful this time. Launch him into the belly of the beast, which will hack it, allowing it to just sit in place and drop bombs. You need to launch all of its bombs into the belly of it. And don't worry, these ones last longer as long as you're actively working to bring them into the quadcopter. It should not be an issue of them going off. And there we go. We've destroyed the second quadcopter. You need to eat all of the pieces, particularly the rotors, because it'll cause a small tornado to form. Finish eating all of the pieces, then the screen will pan out. Bring the tornado underneath these buildings. The three main buildings, the two on the right and the left and the middle, will be done separately. Just bring it under each of them one at a time until it fully dismantles. Once the screen fades to white, that will be time. If you enjoyed watching this, I highly recommend checking out this game yourself. It's a lot of fun, it's pretty funny, and has a lot of story that I cut out for the purposes of the speedrun. If you enjoyed, feel free to subscribe. It's free, you can undo it later, and no pressure. If you have any feedback about how I can improve or what you liked, I would love to hear it. And with that, I hope you have a great day. If it's not doing great now, I hope it gets better. And I hope to see you in another video. Thank you so much. Bye.